Hello, my name is Jeff Lovejoy, and I'm a certified business coach with Action Coach. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Tim McCormack, owner of Business Transition 360. Hi, Tim.
Hey Jeff, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Tim, how about sharing with the audience a little bit about Business Transition? What is it?
Well, we were founded almost 8 years ago as a furniture dealership, office furniture dealership. We offer both new and reconditioned business furniture. We provide space planning design, and we do a fair amount of decommissions or broom sweeps for companies that might be exiting a space and need to get out of a space uh, uh, and protect their lease termination event.
So is the target market then are the people that need furniture but don't want to pay top steel case top dollars? Is that the target?
That's a good question, and yes, I mean we're kind of we're what we call an open line dealer and we do target the midline user. So you're going to spend, you can probably spend 20% less with us on new furniture, and you can spend as much as 50% less with us if you buy something that we're repurposing or is gently used.
Wow, that's a significant savings with office furniture. But I guess that so. Well, I come back to the question I was just about to ask you. So the target market, Tim, is it Southeast? Is it Georgia? Is it Metro Atlanta? Is it national? Where is it? And is there any industries that you really focus on within those geographic regions?
Great question. We have done work nationally, but typically we're more concentrated in the Southeast. And probably 70% of our business comes from Georgia. However, if we have a client like Mark Spain who's expanding, we'll expand with them. So we're seeing more business in the Carolinas, Florida, Tennessee as we grow. And so yeah, we're not exclusive to Georgia, but because of our telemarketing and digital marketing approach, that's where most of our business originates.
And are you're headquartered out of Atlanta or Metro Atlanta? Is that right?
Yes.
Do you have
Yes, sir.
satellite offices, or you service everything out of Metro Atlanta?
We service everything out of Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So tell me now about the impact the pandemic has had. I would imagine it's been significant with the whole move into remote office space. Or does that create the need to have furniture in the office space the remote space that people didn't have before? So, and what's the impact?
Well, it's a great question. We have friendly competition with a number of different dealerships, and I've talked to probably 5 or 6 other principals with companies. And when I use the term 60% off or maybe 70% off from last year at this time, they're all right there with us lockstep. It's been a grind. And I think everybody's pivoting. Most of those companies being a little bit bigger, and we have 35 installers and 6 admin folks. We had to furlough some people. So yeah, we're seeing same time last year, we're off about 60%. We've been fortunate because we don't have some of the overhead that some of the other companies do. We share a warehouse, but we do a lot of things. Most of the furniture we take on is on a consignment basis. We go into a company and they say, hey, we want you to clear this space in the next 3 months. And so we put those assets on our website anonymously, and we try to sell them right off the floor. If we don't sell them, then we make it very clear to them that we're going to have to remove them and there's a charge for removal. But yeah, we're seeing it's a dramatic impact. We're trying to market to people with home office options now. Most of the folks that we talk to, and I'd say we talk to 100 folks a day between myself and 2 other callers, and those folks, 95 out of 100 will say, we're not even thinking about this until Q1 of 2021. So we're thinking it may not bounce back until mid next year. And that's concerning for, a lot of companies, obviously.
Got it. But there are some segments that are doing better than others. And I guess it goes without saying you've been reaching out to those segments because they might have some need for additional furniture.
Right. I mean, here a great example, and not to name drop, but we chased down a lead about a month and a half ago. HelloFresh was doing some expansion, in Noonan. We're going to help them with a manufacturing and distribution location. So, I mean, you really have to just go out like any of us and find those companies that are thriving. Um, because, like I said, Mark Spain, real estate companies, we work with a few real estate companies. So we have kind of shifted our target and said, okay, we've got to find those companies that are still doing things and need help. So.
So that's one of the next question I was going to ask is what have you done to shift or to kind of to keep the lights on, so to speak? And it sounds like focusing on real estate has been one. Is there
Yes.
something else that you've done to to use the overused word pivot
Yeah.
during these days?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we do a lot of digital marketing. We've got a great marketing director, if you will, that we outsource to. She's done some really cool stuff. We've done some pay per click ads. We're getting more aggressive digitally. So we've upped that digital marketing budget. I'm probably spending twice as much as we did last year at this time. We do a lot of direct mail as well because folks they're being inundated with email and other approaches. So we still do a fair amount, and we mail out anywhere from 500 to 1,000 postcards and or letters every month, just trying to get with the folks in offices. We're still doing door knocking, and we're doing a fair amount of networking with folks like yourself or construction companies that are still putting permits out there. So yeah, I mean, if you're aggressive enough, and we think we are, we're frankly starting to see a little bit of an uptick, and we're thinking, yeah, quarter four, we're going to recover a bit. We'll end off. I think we'll end up year in. We'll probably be down 50%, but that's not nearly as bad as it looked 3 months ago. So, you've got to do what you got to do, I guess, as they say.
Yeah, well, congrats to recognizing that now's the time to be out increasing the marketing exposure. So many businesses I talk to, they do the across the board slashing of costs, which means from the marketing perspective, they're just going silent.
Right.
And, I was early on, I talked to the owner of a marketing firm, and she had come up with this concept called the cricket concept. And that was that, at night, the crickets stand out because everything else is quiet. And so when you're in dark times, economic downturns, you need to be the one making the noise like the crickets, because when things turn around, people are going to remember that you guys were out there making the noise. So good for you for doing that.
Good for her. That's a good idea. I thought you were going to tell me she's on the phone from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m.
No. But
But she
so I
makes
mean,
it.
it's an interesting concept, and I found that in doing research on it that it's well documented that companies that advertise during downturns are quicker to turn around, and they come back at a higher level
Yeah.
than those that don't advertise.
Yeah.
So good for you for doing that.
No, I appreciate that. And we kind of, I mean, from talking with a few other folks, principals and other companies that we share ideas with, yourself included. I mean, because you do a great job marketing, getting your name out there, and I see your stuff. And so, yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because we're hopeful that what we're doing now, planting the seeds and doing that we'll be prepared for the bounce back.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine some of those competitors I don't know about the big guys, but some of the smaller guys probably have gone silent.
They have. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen 3 or 4 competitors in our space. We're a $2.5 to $3.5 million company, and we've seen some of those guys just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. So we picked up some assets in the process, but we're trying to hold on to our cash like a lot of people.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it. Okay. And I guess the long-term future it looks bright, I would guess.
Well, it's been a discovery process. Ironically, I meant to tell you this before we got online, but my wife Cassie has been training with IFPG to become a franchise consultant of
Oh,
all things.
interesting. Yeah,
Right.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I told her, I said, you might want to meet with Jeff and talk action coaching. That's a great operation. And she's going to exit the company over the next, say, 3 to 6 months. So I'm looking for someone to take her role. We just want to, we need to, she wants to she wanted to get out of the business over the last couple of years, do something different. So it's given us a chance to kind of look at that, evaluate what we need to fill her role, and we'll be hiring someone in the next 3 months.
Yeah, got it. Okay, good, good. Um, so, you know, it's said that smart people learn from their mistakes and that wise people learn from the mistakes of others. What, what, what can you share with the people that are listening to this that or lessons that you learned either through coming through this pandemic, I guess, or certainly that period of time leading up to the pandemic? What
Mm.
are any lessons learned? Things that you can pass on that others avoid.
Um,
Kind of put you on
I
the
always go
spot.
back to, well, it's a great question. It's thought provoking. I always go back to what I heard in 2008 when, or I'm sorry, 2009, 11. And I remember reading um, Herb Keller's book, and Herb was the guy that always put money in the bank, and his CFO would come by. He told the story really great in the book that his CFO would always come back by the office and say, "Hey, Herb, we've got 100 million this month." He goes, "Okay, well, make sure you put the 50 million in the bank." Uh, I'm highlighting it, but and his CFO's like, "You don't want that much money in the bank," and he said, "Oh, just put it in the bank." And this went on through the 90s, and when 2001, he said he kept telling his CFO he was saving for a rainy day. Um, and on 9/11, 2001, his CFO walked by his office, and Herb said it's raining. And they had hundreds of millions. That's why they survived. And I would say the one thing I've learned is I'm glad we've been a lot more prudent with our cash to be prepared. Um, I, I think I think the other thing for me personally, faith is a big thing. I don't, I'm not, uh, I don't want to be politically provoking, but faith has been great for us in our company. We don't wear it on our sleeve, but we are a faith-based company, and we like to. So, I mean, each day you got to take it one day at a time and just look at little wins along the way, because this has been a grind for a lot of people. I mean, I've watched. I mean, there are people out there that have it so much worse than we do. So we've been trying, like, when we find most of our business has been decommissions. Most of it has been companies calling facilities people, office managers, come get our furniture. We're terminating the lease or leases. We need help. And you see it on their face because they're going to decommission a space and then lose their job. So it's just those little things that we've learned, and we've tried to donate furniture along the way. We try to repurpose it. We try to find folks that might benefit from the furniture. But I think one of the greatest lessons has been that we've kind of looked at ourselves and said, okay, what do we do well, especially in a time like this, and what do we not do so well, and what do we need to get better at? And I think Cassie and I both agree as principals of the company that um, we're decent leaders, but we could be better leaders. And it was when you asked about maybe revisiting, working with you long term. So it's given us a chance to kind of look at our business model and see where we both want to be and where we both want to go. And I want to take the company to the next level. She wants to exit, and that's great. We're happy. We've got a solid relationship. We've been together 25 years, so we're excited about the future.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great. You know, I read, and I'm going to get these numbers wrong, but someone said the other day that, you know, it's historically we go through economic cycles. Obviously, we know that, and out of a 10-year cycle, you might have 3 years that are great years, 4 years that are average years, and 2 years, 1 or 2 years that are just terrible years. And that's what we're in now. So,
Right.
you know, and this has been particularly difficult, but it's not like this. I don't know, not to lessen the significance of it, but the sky isn't falling. I mean, there will be a spring, and we will come out of this
Right.
just like we have every other time. So your point about saving the chestnuts for the winter was very appropriate. You know,
Yeah.
uh, that's what business owners. Hopefully, a lot of them did that and didn't
Yeah.
make the money and then turn around and spend it because they were really impacted.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like I said, we've committed for months now to get on the phone 30, 40 times a day. I do it, Cassie does it, just to find people, even if we're just having a conversation. And it's been ironic the last couple of months that that you talk with folks that are working from home. And my first question is, how do you like the home office idea? And it just kind of, it lets their guard down, and, they know they've seen information from us. So I'm just following up to say, are you strategizing at all for what you're going to do with the offices? We've got clients like Horizon Software that we had just dropped in 120 workstations for them, beautiful benching systems, very low profile, and called her a week into the pandemic and said, "What do you want to do?" And said, I don't know. We're not going to come back to the office for quite some time." So we're learning what some of our companies, some of our clients are going to do strategically long term. With them, they're going to just bring 30% of the staff in every day, so they can just spread them out in these 120 seats. So it's been good for us. Most of our clients are just great resources to pass along to other clients to say, "Hey, here's what this financial company is doing." And you may want to follow suit. So, but yeah, it's been, like you said, it's been a very interesting 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, sure has. So what's been inspiring you? What inspires you these days?
Um, I I would say I've got a leads group I'm in, a networking group with a bunch of men that are principals for companies called the Southern Resource Group. They're all very upbeat. Um, I've uh, I've got both my daughters in the house. They're great. One of my daughters is junior. She plays softball. We're back to softball.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Cassie's decided, which was a big deal. She kind of looked at where she was, and I think just from um, looking at life more in the terms for us, it's been looking at the fact that this business didn't need to be everything in our life, and we've made it that for years. And as we've gone through the pandemic, you talk about just kind of sitting back and saying what's really important. It's given us a chance to kind of be holistic and look at life in terms of, okay, businesses come and go. We can start another business if this one doesn't work out. But I mean, just trying to help other people that are struggling through the pandemic, because it's been such, horrific, just a horrific event in the annals of history. And I think we've been blessed to be able to help other people with the position or the condition that God's placed us in.
Yeah,
For
good
lack
for
of,
you.
yeah,
That's great. And I love that about the using it as an opportunity to kind of reevaluate and to kind of refocus on more of that work-life balance, because it is so easy to get into that grind and you're on that hamster wheel, and you miss your daughter's softball games, or you miss
right,
practices, and you don't throw the ball with her, and you don't go practice hit with her, and
right.
it's so easy to let that stuff get ahead of you. So congrats for at least having that perspective, and to appreciate what you have around you outside the business.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, um, so tell people how they can reach out to you.
You can reach out to us. We rebranded right before the pandemic. Our website is now www.bt360solutions.com. You can call me 24/7. I will pick up my phone, probably a lot like Jeff Lovejoy, 678-360-8708. We do a lot of consulting. Again, it's, first 5 hours with us is on us. We want people to,
Well,
we're not charging, but once we get into a project, we usually charge anywhere from 75 to 100 for project management. But you can call me anytime at 678-360-8708, or you can go to, go to my LinkedIn, which is under, Tim McCormack. I don't know the whole scroll, and then, but I have a presence on LinkedIn, as does Cassie. And my email address is tim@bt360solutions.com.
got it. I should have asked this at the beginning. The transition 360 implies kind of a holistic approach. So does that mean it's more than just furniture you're involved with, or does that mean it's the consulting piece as well, or is it even broader than that?
No, great question. And it's asked often. It really was the idea that we would come in and help you get from one space to another. So you can shut down your office. We can help you with getting rid of the old furniture, the abatement of the voice and data cabling. A lot of times when you have a lease coming due and you signed it, you have to return the space in white box form, as they call it. So a lot of folks don't understand that they've got to patch all the holes, and they've got to make that space as they leased it 5 or 10 years ago. So we do everything from getting them out of that space, move management, new space, furniture if they need it, move management, and decommissioning or repurposing that furniture. It's just we like to, we'll draw the circle when we're presenting to them and say, you're here now. We want to get you back to operating, in your new space and make it as minimally disruptive as possible.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Okay, well, thanks so much for your time today, Tim. It's been great, fascinating learning about the business, and some of the learnings have been really eye-opening. So thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks,
All
Jeff.
right.
Let's do some coffee when you have time, when we have time.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.